The local licensing authority meeting is called to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Berlin,
Present.
Brown,
Present.
Cohen,
Here.
Merska,
Here.
Marsh Holshin, Maxey.
Here.
Thank you. We do have a quorum. Each member of the authority has a copy of the minutes of June 1st, 2022 licensing authority meeting. Are there any corrections or additions to those minutes? Seeing and hearing none, the minutes of the meeting of the licensing authority of June 1st, 2022 stand approved as submitted by the Assistant City Clerk. Move to agenda item 3A, LT Corporation doing business as Kelly's Wine and Spirits, B&B Business Incorporated doing business as Kelly Wine and Spirits, transfer of ownership, retail liquor store license. Members of the authority have a copy of the application along with the agenda memorandum which sets forth the staff's review. Are representatives present? Yes, I see one is for sure.
Yes.
Mr. Shrestha, are you able to turn your video on?
Yes, I did.
Thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
Would you please state your name, spell your last name and pronounce it, please, for the record, along with your business address?
Okay, my last name is Shrestha, Shrestha, and my business address is 1000 Depot Hill Road, Unit C, Broomfield, Colorado 80020.
And I'm Chris Holton, representing the applicant registration number 8321.
Thank you and welcome. Does the authority have any questions of the representatives?
I do.
Ms. Brown, go ahead.
Mr. Shrestha, what sort of experience do you have in the wine and spirits?
Yes, we have a 8 years experience in liquor store. From 2014 to 2016, work as a cashier at Glacier Liquor Store in Erie. And 2016-2018, I was clerk at Mead Liquor, and in 2018 and 2022, I was the manager of Mead Liquor.
And we submitted, by the way, we submitted a revised first page of the individual history record form, kind of at the last minute, but it sets forth his business experience.
Okay.
But Sean, has everybody taken the tip certificate of you and Beamy?
Beamy, yes.
And you took the class also?
Yes.
And what? How many employees do you have?
Just one employer.
And has he taken the tips class?
Yes.
Okay. And when somebody comes in the store, what is your policy? When are you going to ID people?
We check the ID of anyone who looks like they are under 50. If you are not sure of their age, then we ask to see their ID.
Okay. Oh, have you ever had a liquor violation in the 8 years?
No.
And has your manager?
Yeah.
I mean, your other employee?
No.
Okay. And how do you tell if someone's been drinking too much?
It smells like liquor, can't talk or walk right, and talk too loud.
So what do you do when somebody comes in like that? What do you do when somebody comes in and has been drinking too much?
Oh, leave the store Otherwise, I will call 911.
Well, I mean, if somebody comes in and they've been drinking too much, will you serve them liquor?
No,
And what are your business hours?
my business hour is Sunday to Thursday, 9:30 to 10 p.m. and Friday, Saturday, 9 to 11.
And where do you buy your liquor?
I buy liquor is a Budweiser and Coors Light and RNDC, Southern Glacier, Breakthrough.
Okay. Are you planning to change the store in any way?
No.
Okay. I don't have any further questions, sorry, but I thought maybe we could help things along.
Okay, we'll go back to local licensing authority representatives. Any further questions, Ms. Brown?
No.
Anyone else? Seeing none then, what's the pleasure of the licensing authority? May I have a motion, please?
I move to approve the transfer of ownership.
Would you please read it from the script if you could, please?
I'm sorry. Motion, sorry. That the licensing authority approve a transfer of ownership of the LT Corporation doing business as Kelly's Wine and Spirits retail liquor store license to B&B Business Inc., doing business as Kelly's Wine and Spirits.
Thank you. We have a motion. Is there a second, please?
Second.
We do have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on that motion? Seeing and hearing none, will the clerk please call roll?
Berlin,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Cohen,
Aye.
Merska,
Aye.
Marsh Holshin, Maxey,
Aye.
Marsh Holston is not present in the meeting. Is that correct?
correct.
Thank you. Thank you. The motion passes. Mr. Shrestha, good luck to you. Best wishes. And Ms. Holgren, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you all. We really appreciate it, and we always appreciate Claudia's help.
Well, thanks. Glad to hear that.
She's great. Thank you very much.
Thanks. We'll move to agenda item 3B, Irwin Beverage Incorporated doing business as Beverage Works Beer and Wine Spirits, renewal with violation, retail liquor store license. Members of the authority have a copy of the application along with the agenda memorandum, which sets forth the staff's review. Are there representatives present? Do we have anyone here from Irwin Beverage?
So we do have two additional boxes, and Mr. Berlin.
Yes, does this work? Does this
Yes.
work? Okay.
It's echoing.
How's that? How's that?
Should we try that one? Go ahead. The representative from Beverage Works, are you able to reconnect? It appears you're unmuted now. Can you try your audio, please?
Okay, I should be unmuted.
That's much better. Ex- ex-
I'm sorry. I'm trying a new setup. I'm sorry.
Are you on a telephone?
I'm also on a telephone, yeah.
I would sign off of the other one that's not the telephone.
Now try to unmute yourself. And do you have audio? Can you hear us? Mr. Maresca, were you suggesting he disconnect from this one and call in on the other?
Yes. He's picking up feedback from the computer from his phone.
Jake, I've also chat a couple options for the applicant as well. Just a couple troubleshooting things that they could try to get their audio to work.
Claudia, do you have a phone number for them?
Yes. Let me give them a call.
Thanks. And then if you can recommend they do what Mr. Maresca suggested.
Okay, sounds good. Oh, I think he's trying to come in.
Okay, can you hear me now?
That's much better. Thank you. Can
Sorry
you hear
for the
us okay?
confusion. I'm trying to use a new computer and I'm not adept at it yet. So, sorry.
Well, this is perfect. Thanks. So will you please identify yourself for the record and provide your business address?
Yes, my name's John Irwin, IRWIN. I'm owner and manager of Beverage Works Beer, Wine, Spirits, located at 1285 Unit A, East First Avenue in Broomfield, 80020.
Thank you, Mr. Irwin, and welcome. Does the authority have any questions of the representative? I'll offer. Mr.
I have
Maresca?
one question. Yes, I have one question. With regard to the violation, I'd just like to get a summary of what happened and what's been done in the interim to resolve the issues.
Well, I was the one that served a minor. I've been in the business since 1984. It's my first violation I've ever had. I just basically made a mistake. I was rushed. It was right before, as I recall, 6 p.m. on the night before Thanksgiving, and I was getting ready to go get a pizza for my staff, and customer came up, and I thought I recognized him as a regular. He had a mask on and a hat, and I took money from him and basically was instigating the sale. Therefore, I didn't ID him because I'd already made the sale. And I thought, I knew him, recognized him from past sales. So I I've made a mistake. I shouldn't have let that go through. Basically it's as simple as that. We've retrained all our staff. I did just recently get on a new staff member that I do need to train, but he's only been with us a couple weeks. So I'll do that soon because I train all my people. We are, basically carding more. We updated our ID check guide. It seems like we need to ID everybody under 50. We've, generally in the past, we would be IDing people, 40 or younger. And I guess that's the only thing I can see where we can improve more on that. Or ID everybody. It just is that kind of instance where a customer can get upset with it. And it's something that, that's not an excuse. Basically, we ID everybody that we think we need to. And my staff doesn't, they've all been trained and they do know that we're supposed to card people, everybody under 50. I just have a lot of repeat customers, and I, think we've been letting some of those guys go because we've seen them a whole bunch. So that's the only thing I'm kind of on the fence on, as far as basically we've paid attention to our job more. Everybody's looking to make sure that the ID is the actual person sitting in front of them, by identifying with the picture, and then just paying attention to, the birth date and then expiration date, et cetera.
Okay. And I guess the question I have, and this may be for staff, it looks like the suspension was a 14-day suspension. Is that typical for a first offense? Is there anything that, I'll ask that question.
Well, actually, it's a second offense in the last 5 years. So that's what prompted the second level offense that I faced with the 14 days versus 7 days.
Okay.
I think it was for a first time offense.
Mr.
Okay.
Haney, any comment?
Yeah, I was just going to ask if Mr. Maresca wished that I elaborate on that at all.
Yeah, please.
Okay. So this suspension period was actually reached as a stipulation with the municipal prosecutor. I do agree with Mr. Irwin. This is much more typical for a second offense type penalty. A first offense is typically a suspension in the neighborhood of 7 to 10 days. Everything here seems fairly consistent with a second offense based on the facts that did happen here. However, that sentence was reached as a stipulation with the prosecutor.
Okay. How old was the person that bought the alcohol?
Well, sir, I never checked the ID. I thought it was a regular customer, and because he had a hat on and a mask and things, his folder out, or I don't know, that's what he had on. I was rushing, it was human error. It shouldn't have happened, basically.
Okay.
Just for the record, it was a police compliance check, and the individuals that they have working are obviously under 21 and oftentimes 18, 19, 20.
Okay.
I don't know about this individual.
Okay. And that's what I was wondering.
He had facial hair. So from what I recall, he had kind of reddish facial hair, which was consistent with the everyday customer.
Okay.
Any additional questions?
So,
Mr. Irwin,
No,
did you have something to add?
no, I guess I just, it was a mistake, and I'm gonna try my very best to not let it happen again. Generally my staff is older and they're a bunch of experts. They've worked in the industry a long time. The times that we've gotten caught, we were careless, and that has just been the way it has gone down. And if you guys want me to card everybody under 50, I've had those signs out before under my counter. That could be another thing I could do. And, I could, just tell everybody that they need to, abide by. I mean, I don't know if carding people under 50 is actually a law or not, but at any rate, I want to go to the extent that, I need to. And I feel like that, we don't have people come in underage. We really don't have a problem with it, but I've gotten caught in a couple stings. So, that's where
Joel?
I get back to, we were being careless. So,
Joel, what happens if there's another violation? Like, what would be the next step in this situation?
A third violation of this nature would ramp this up probably into the 20 to 30-day suspension range. However, it would again come in front of the LLA to determine whether or not they want to accept that stipulation or move forward in a different direction.
Okay.
Additional questions, Mr. Maresca?
Nope, not at this time.
Anyone else? Mr. Irwin,
can I interject?
Sure.
I think it goes up to a 21 day or 28 day or something like that. But there's different levels that were set in precedent by the state, I believe. I don't know when it was. It was in one of the rehall legislative, I'm forgetting what you call them, agreements, as liquor laws have evolved in Colorado over the years.
Okay.
Let's just hope we never get there, because all my years on the LLA, we've never had a third violation.
Okay.
John, who was
I don't wanna be
responsible
that
for the
person.
initial violation?
And an employee that no longer works with me, Michael Murray,
Okay.
and it was 2019.
Okay.
Mr. Irwin, as I told you the night of the hearing, and I'll tell you again tonight, I do appreciate your candidness and taking full fault for the mistakes. Oftentimes we'll hear people try to blame others, but both times that I've dealt with your situations, it's always been, we did it, no excuses. So I appreciate that.
Well, thanks. I'm, like I said, I'm going to do, I don't want to be here again.
Well, thanks.
So.
What's the pleasure of the licensing authority regarding the license? You have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion that the local licensing authority approve the renewal of the retail liquor license for Irwin Beverage Incorporated, doing business as Beverage Works, beer, wine, and spirits.
Thanks, Mr. Cohen. May I have a second, please? Mr. Maxey? We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on the motion?
Only
Seeing
that
and hearing none.
I was just going to echo Mr. Berlin's comments about appreciate the candor. Also going to appreciate the extenuating circumstances of a mask being in the situation, but would encourage Mr. Irwin to take whatever measures possible to avoid being back here again, including carding people who look like me.
Yeah, Well, I don't have the video up anymore, so I can't remember which one you are. So, yes, I'm gonna go grill my staff over the next week, and we'll get back into shape here. Okay.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
No.
Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Berlin,
Aye.
Brown,
To unmute. Aye.
Cohen,
Aye.
Mariska,
Aye.
Marsh Holshin, Maxey,
Aye.
Thank you. The motion passes. Mr. Irwin, have a good night.
Thank you. Yeah,
We'll
you too.
Move to agenda item 4, petitions and communications. There are no petitions and communications. Agenda item 5, police department report. There are no police department reports. Agenda item 6, city and county attorneys report. My agenda item says no. Do we have anything else, Mr. Haney?
That's correct. There's no report for this month.
Thank you. Do we have any additional business to come before the LA tonight?
just really quick, I wanted to let you all know the update for next month's meeting. I have a renewal with a violation and a possible transfer of ownership.
That would be August 3rd, correct?
Correct.
Thanks for the update. Anything else? Seeing nothing else, the meeting will be adjourned. Have a good night, everyone.
You too.